Hi, my name is Meng Meichen and I'm from Qingdao No. 2 Middle School in Shandong Province in China. And today in this video I'm going to talk about my view on the perspective of democracy in China. First of all, I believe that there will be a democracy in China within the next most of all hundreds of years. The reason I am convinced that there will be a democracy in China is as following. As you can see in this chart I jotted for this video, I believe political transition are caused by many factors, including economy, class, and culture. And we shall analyze these factors currently in China one by one. First, economy. As we all know, Chinese economy are developing rapidly, and this rapid development is one of the most major reasons that allowed Chinese government to currently maintain the stability within Chinese society. Why? Because as Professor Diamond showed in his videos, there is a relationship between the GDP per capita, in other words, economic development, with the people's satisfaction to their governments. As you can see, China is still in stage 1, where the increase of the development of economy would also increase people's satisfaction to their governments. But this model is not sustainable, because one day China would reach this point where the development, the improvement of living conditions of economy would not satisfy the people anymore. People would ask for more. And the more is political rights. The freedom to speech, the freedom to protest, the freedom to be heard, the freedom to vote. Freedom, equality, and the right to pursue their happiness. And another factor caused by the economy development is education. Educational level in China are also developing, and as a result, public generally, are more well educated compared to their fathers and grandfathers. And because of that, they are much more capable of critical thinking, independently make judgment, and they would want their voice to be heard. In other words, Chinese government cannot just manipulate their people's opinion so easily anymore. People are more and more people are knowing what is the real social justice, and they are striving for it. Another thing is class, and the class I'm referring here is the middle class in China. The middle class in China is a class that not only fairly rich, but also well educated, and also have a fairly high social status within this society. Another means they have a very strong economic power as a class as a whole, but they only have some political powers. But in order to further maximize their economic power, the economic benefits, they would want to acquire more political powers. They would want to be a part of the policy making in China. They would want to decide the future of this country and themselves. They would want their voice to be heard. And the difference of the middle class and other class in China is that they are strong enough to actually make a difference in this society. And the last factor is culture. Why there hasn't been a democracy in China successfully established? The most important reason, I believe, is because of culture. There's no such notion as democracy in Chinese history. For 5,000 years, there's no such thing as democracy. And there's no all those liberating intellectual movements. We didn't have our Renaissance, we didn't have our Reformation, we didn't have our Enlightenment, we don't have our Kant or Rousseau. What we had for 5,000 years was monarchy, And it's not a constitutional monarchy, it's just a purely monarchy. The emperor is everything. Every political, not only political power, every power in this country belongs to him. Every person in this country belongs to him. And this profound history has cultivated a strange, destructive, and conservative habit within Chinese society. Is that Chinese people are used to unconditionally obey the order of their leaders, of their rulers. It's just a very bad historical heritage in our society. But that is changing as a result of social media. With the occurrence of social media had two major impacts on Chinese society. First, it connected people within Chinese society, so that people it allowed the news to travel more effectively and covered a more broad audience. And second, people can also post their news, their opinion, something happening in their life on social media, which makes that Chinese people are not merely a listener anymore. They're also a speaker. They can use, and there are already such cases, social media as a weapon to expose corrupted officials. Many corrupted officials in China were taken down this way now, and they can use social media to defend their own rights. The second impact is that because as a result of social media, the culturally interaction of Chinese society to foreign societies are increasing, and many universal values such as freedom, equality, the right to pursue happiness are also spreading. These concepts, these ideas are also spreading and getting an acknowledgement and agreement within Chinese society. Chinese people are starting to believe that they deserve their freedom. They deserve to choose their own leaders. They deserve to be treated equally. And what is the social justice? Social justice is what legally, just morally right for people, not rulers. And with these changes, I believe democracy is on its way. But another point we also need to remember is that we could not rush this process. Although democracy is what we desire, but it's a gradual process. It will come when the history says we, the Chinese, our society, are ready. Because there's too many failure of democracies nowadays in the contemporary international society, such as in Egypt, in all those Muslim world. Most of them, of course, some of them, I'm sorry. And some people rush in and want to make this society a democratic society, but it failed. It would just become a not effective democracy. It's also corrupted. Why? Because the people and the society as a whole within that country are not ready intellectually. When we truly understand what is democracy, why we want democracy, and what we should do in a democracy, we are ready. And that's when China would become a democracy.